In this example, we're given points P and Q, and we want to find the coordinates of, it says point P, but let's change that to say point S, on the directed line segment PQ that partitions PQ in the ratio of 2 to 3. So that means we have to start at point P, and then we're going to end at point Q, and we need to make it a 2 to 3 ratio. So when you see 2 to 3 ratio, that means 2 parts to 3 parts, which means you have 5 parts total. So if we start off with our picture here, we have point P. We're going to have 2 equal parts. Then we're going to see point S, because that's going to be the point that is going to partition this segment. Then we're going to have 3 equal parts, since it's a 2 to 3 ratio. And then that's where point Q will go. So again, we have our 2 parts to 3 parts in this direction. So we can start off with graphing just to see if it'll work. So if we start off with graphing, we go to point P, which is going to be 5, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 4. So this is point P. Q is going to be 9, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, up 6, 2, 4, 6. So here's Q. So here's my segment that I need to break up into 5 equal parts, and then point S is going to be after the second part. So if you look, we start to count here the distance from P to Q. We're going to have to divide it by 5. We are going up 2. And then we have to go right 1, 2, 3, 4. If we divide both those numbers by 5, we're going to get some decimals, and the decimals aren't going to be that countable on a graph. So what that means is I'm going to go ahead and do this algebraically. If it works on a graph and you can divide these by 5 and they come out to be nice whole numbers, then go for it, do it on a graph. But a lot of times you're going to see that you're going to get decimals. So let's go over and do it algebraically. So algebraically means we're going to line up our coordinates. So we start at P, we list it out, so it's 5, 4. And remember, you want to number how many points you have between P and Q just to kind of keep them straight. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. You'll always have one less point than you do parts. So there's 4 coordinates between P and Q. So my first coordinate, my second coordinate is going to be S, which is what I want. Then I have 3, and then the fourth coordinate, and then that's when I'm going to have Q. So Q, the coordinates for Q are up here in the problem, 9, 6. So now when I look at these, I need to decide, well, how did I go from 5 to 9? What's the change in the X values? So remember, if you struggle with coming up with that number, look at your graph. Since we counted over here on the graph, whatever you moved right or left, that's going to tell you what the change in X was. So since I moved right 4, it's a plus 4. If I were to move left 4, it would have been a minus 4. So since it's directed, you have to start at point P. So 5 to 9 gave me plus 4. So the change in X was plus 4. We have to divide that by the 5 parts. So when you do that, you're going to end up with 0.8, so 0.8. So that means each time I'm going to add 0.8, which is why I recommend not depending on the graph, because when you get a problem like this, you don't want to have to count 0.8 on a graph. So really in this problem, I didn't even need to graph it. I could have just jumped into doing it algebraically. So if you don't want to do these graphically, you don't have to. You can just do them algebraically. So add 0.8 again, you get 6.6. Add 0.8 again, you end up with 7.4. Add 0.8 again, you end up with 8.2. And then add it one last time, and you should end up with 9. And we do. So 8.2 plus 0.8 gives me 9. So that's how you know that it's all good and it's accurate. So then I go to the next one, the y values from 4 to 6. That's going to be plus 2. Again, if you're not sure how to get that, you can look on a graph. What's the vertical change? So in this case, if I'm starting at point P, because it's a directed line segment, so from P to Q, what did I have to do? I had to go up 2, so that's why it's a plus 2. If you had to go down 2, then it would have been minus 2. So plus 2, but I have to divide that by the 5 parts because there's 5 equal parts. So when you divide that, you get 0.4. So that means you're going to be adding 0.4 each time. So we get 4.4, add 0.4 again, you get 4.8, add 0.4, get 5.2, add 0.4, you get 5.6, add 0.4, and you get 6. So since it worked out, that tells me that I'm in good shape, and that means I need to look at my coordinate, which is the second coordinate, so that we have a 2 to 3 ratio. So my answer is going to be the coordinate for S is going to be 6.6 comma 4.8.